Well, here we are, fans. Despite what I may say afterwards, I'm still at a loss for words. Well, one of the first things that grabbed my attention for this overall experience, especially these last 4 episodes, was just the rich storytelling. The sheer spectacle of storytelling. It reminds me of kind of like manga in a sense, or at least in the Japanese culture, how anime has just become its own thing, its own genre, its own art form. This version, this style, the aesthetic of storytelling, despite, the more pastel skin layer, really takes on a life of its own once, that skeletal support of dramatic music, voice acting, those all too familiar good storytelling elements. Once they're in place, it becomes surreal at certain times. I found myself pinned to my seat. Once the stormtroopers broke through and Ahsoka hurdled the door with the Force, from that moment until Rex and Ahsoka have their moment, it's all out chaos. It's all survival. It's all action. You don't get a moment to breathe. We need to breathe. How you just gonna disrespect our oxygen needs? Don't make no sense. By far the most resounding aspect of this show, of these entire 4 episodes, we know Ahsoka Tano lives. But just seeing how it plays out in all the block shots, the force jumps, the force leaps, the whole thing, man. My God. One of the second things to dawn on me watching this episode was now those earlier episodes have a rightful place. They are there to keep the balance of this entire season, which I must say from top to bottom at this point looks pretty good. Coming in at just 12 episodes, which is maybe 10, 11 episodes shy of its normal run, what they were able to accomplish in this season is, simply put, just groundbreaking. Ever since the 2018 San Diego Comic-Con, most every Star Wars fan, myself included, has been waiting in anticipation just to see how far Lucasfilm would take us into the belly of the Clone Wars. Now, do I wish there was more? Of course I do. It would be nice to have a little bit more content, but for what we got, the style in which it was told, the character treatment, attention to detail, seeing more of the Star Wars universe, I would probably rate this entire season an 8.5, just from where we started and where it ended up taking us. This particular episode I would give a 10. There was not one thing in this episode I did not get. It was really intense, really just, man. I mean, I'll just start maybe for this 4 episode arc. It's a 10. 10 out of 10 easy. Now, I've heard other reviewers use the term retcon when describing tie-ins to certain plot points. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know. I mean, technically, maybe there are some retcons, I guess especially maybe with the Ahsoka Tano book. But like I said in my last video, with the intertwining of the events between the motion picture Revenge of the Sith, which is wrapping up the Clone Wars, and then the Clone Wars series itself, which is wrapping up Revenge of the Sith, which is really not to be undersold or underestimated, So I guess my last thoughts I want to share on this episode. I really like what they did with Maul. I don't know if I've really seen a character being used this way when in regards to the Force, and also how the Force is really intangible, but it was made to be really tangible, really plausible in this episode. The way Ahsoka Tano was hanging on to the ship as he was trying to leave, the whole sequence was just really representative of the peak of Star Wars lore. Well, that just about does it for me. I'm about to wrap it up, and I haven't done any real research as to the future of the Clone Wars. I don't know if they're going to do another season. I'm pretty sure at this point they will, because this one was so very successful. Disney Plus is a new platform that they could just constantly upload their content on, so we'll just have to see what they do moving forward. I'm pretty sure they will, but until then, guys, stay on the lookout for any more content that Content Meta is putting up, man. I've really enjoyed this series. I've enjoyed you guys, man. Appreciate it. See you then.